Holistic Vitality Energy Healing. www.holistic-vitality.com.
So this is my second Reiki session with the beloved Nicole, and this experience was different substantially from my first one. My first one was very emotional, and it allowed me to see light where I've been putting emphasis in things that I've now found this time around, that I was thinking it was certain things, but this session allowed me to see that it wasn't, to where I felt like there was a lot of jealousy in certain facets of my life. And today it wasn't that it was jealousy, it was that it was envy, and that there was entitlement, not issues, because I don't want to say it like that, but it was envy of maybe what others had that I hadn't. And when that first initially came up, it was at a point to where I think you guided me to my younger self.
Was this in today's sessions or the last one?
Yeah, today's session.
Today's session. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go back and forth between the two so I can kind of like try to make sense of both of them, because it was like an opposite effect. The first one was so emotional, where this one was more like joyful, and there was a lot more clarity to today's session on the decision makings that are like going on in my life right now currently. But today was very joyful, and but as I was going through the process, which last time I wasn't aware at all, this one I was more aware. I was, I think, more open to it, or maybe there was a little bit more resistance last time, to where it just catapulted me into a whole different realm. But this time around, I found clarity that the decisions that I'm moving towards, I may not be there yet, but that I'm at least on the right path to finding myself more, getting back to, I don't want to say my core values and beliefs, but it's like I had a sense of what I'm supposed to be doing, what really is important to me, which in that time, last session, there was a lot of anger and frustration with my family. But this time there was a lot of gratitude and thankfulness for them. And I guess it was emotional this time, and just in a different facet, and I guess it was emotional in a manner of, again, just being overwhelmed with joy and feeling blessed. I know that at some point, I don't know where we were at in the process. I don't know if we were like midway, because I lose time every single time we've done this.
How long does it feel like you've been gone for?
The very first time it felt like weeks. And maybe it's because I just had so much stuff going on internally and mentally, that I was working through so much stuff, where this time it felt like it was, today still. But last time felt like a really long time. This time around, it felt like it was easier for me to go where I needed to go to. And I don't know like where we were at, like where I was at, but I was with my younger self, and I guess I was talking to him, and there was other entities there, but I don't know whom. It wasn't my sister. It wasn't, anybody that I knew. But I was questioning myself if I was making the right decision. Because in the past I've ran, and I've always taken the easy route, it seems like. I woke up and my confidence level was different for some reason. And that I just knew that I'm making the right decisions and that I'm going down the path that I'm supposed to be going down. Maybe to find a woman, to get my business going. It was just like it encompassed everything this time, where last time it encompassed the past, and where this time it felt like it was all surrounded around my future. So I think having the 2 sessions and one being so overwhelming, and I think at first I wasn't really understanding of what I was getting myself into the first time. From last time I even got the same message. I'm putting too much emphasis in this self-growth stuff, right? To where maybe it's my path to even help my sister grow, and not just myself, the people around me, and with whom I would say used to be, because I feel like a lot of changes happened substantially in my life over the past 4 years, and a lot over the past year. I feel like it's maybe my destiny, and I'm supposed to be helping others. And I feel like if I put more effort into that and being cognizant of other people's emotions and feelings, my wrong emotions won't come out, like my frustrations, my anger, because I think anger is the biggest thing that I deal with.
Yeah.
And so when I'm feeling a certain emotion, I put it all into the wrong type emotion because I don't know how to express it properly, and so I feel like today was a little bit of clarity on that, where last time I had clarity on that as well, but it was, I would say the very first one for me was deeper, because I didn't know what to expect going into it. So it was just an overwhelming amount of different emotions, but I was able to feel those emotions in their entirety instead of, and I was out, but I was able to feel what that emotion was truly.
Last session, you mean?
In the very first session we've
Okay.
done, yes. Where this one, I already went into it knowing what those emotions felt like, even if I can't bring them to fruition in real life, but I was able to know what they felt like going into it, to where I feel like it was easier for me, as you were talking to me and guiding me, to slip away.
Yeah.
And go to where I needed to go. Because I felt like I was with myself a lot longer this time, even though I felt like I was gone for a week last time.
Yeah.
And so it was like I knew where I needed to go, and and when I say we, it was me and myself, and you must have guided me somewhere, but I'm in this vast, and what's so crazy is I don't get how it can be a beach and a mountain.
Yeah.
But it encompassed both, and it was just like everything around me was vivid, and the colors were brighter this time, and I think I was able to focus more on colors this time than last time. And so where we went, obviously is a realm in its own, that has nothing to do with this, with our earth, because there is no beach leading up to, there's no beach leading up to mountains, but it was all encompassed there. And him and I were walking together through this and what would be weird is it's like it was like there was a jungle there as well. And like as we're walking through, I'm like walking with my arms open and I'm feeling again, you know. And it's like at some point there was like rain and I felt it on my face, and it was just like I was there was one thing that I felt like I threw away today as well. And when earlier I asked you to please help me with jealousy, and it kept going back to envy. And I saw my younger self in a classroom, and there was a lot of envy for the simple fact that I didn't learn how to read and a lot of different stuff, and that I was so behind everybody else. And you know, it eventually led into me giving up, which made it so much easier to give up on so many different facets of my life, whether it was something I was passionate about.
Like your art?
Yeah, my art, sports, just anything. And I think because of that, in giving up on school the way I did, it was easier for me to give up on everything else as well. And this time was awesome though. It was so much different, and I feel like I said, there was a lot more clarity, but there was still some like wonder within it, you know, like I wonder, like, you know, what this is going to lead to. And it was like I was cognizant of being there, but knowing where I was.
Yeah.
And it's like I need to grasp this so that this can be reflected in my life, you know.
Right.
And I feel like I have a really big desire to find a woman, and I feel like I can envision it. And I feel like it's something that is important in my life, like I'm seeking it. But I feel like there's so much more that I need to work on within myself so that I can be 100% of the man I'm supposed to be. So that woman eventually gets the best of me, you know, and not this broken and emotional. You know, I'm cool with being emotional. I'm fine with that now at this point. But, I feel like everything is leading to where my life is supposed to be. And it was like today was clarity of that, you know, and it just felt so good. And it just kind of allowed me to know I'm making the right decisions, where I've always questioned my decisions because of, you know, my insecurities with just everything, you know. And not everything, because I haven't had insecurities about everything, but
certain things.
Yeah, definitely. And it was just really nice this time, you know. And I don't know, I feel like I have so much energy, where last time I felt good and I felt like a release, but I just felt like I I had so much, you know, where it was like I was just beat afterwards and exhausted. Where this time I'm like, all right, it's time to go. Just everything. Today I guess was just a great day, and I think it was all leading up to my Reiki session, you know. But it's not just Reiki, because it's guided meditation as well, which I feel like the Reiki gives me the energy to be able to sustain getting through the meditation, really. Where I'm very ADD and very ADHD, so if I hear a noise, I'm like, you know?
Yeah.
But with the Reiki, I feel like it gives me that energy to get through the system, I wouldn't say system of it, but, I mean, what would you call that?
The meditation?
No, you have a certain way of getting me there.
Visualizations?
So maybe the visualizations is what gets me there, but I guess it's a process. You have a process you start with, right?
Yeah.
So I think the energy of the Reiki gets me to the point to where it allows me to get through all those things and takes my ADHD out of the equation to where I can focus. And this time around too, I saw myself and I saw us doing the Reiki, which was really weird. And it was at the start of it, and I felt like I saw us.
Like out of body?
It felt like an out of body, yeah. And I saw us doing the, Reiki, which last time I didn't know what you did because I was out instantly.
Yeah.
Where this time, it was like I was cognizant of what was going on, so I was back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's not like I was awake and aware. It was more like I looked at myself like, you okay down there? All right, let me go back, And so it was like I was able to go back and forth through different realms. What I'm starting to find, and I know I'm jumping so many different directions, but I've put so much emphasis on financial gain that I've lost sight of, I guess, what my true desires are. And I thought it was financially putting too much emphasis in to where I've allowed that to consume my life, financial gain. And in that time frame while I was doing that, I feel like I lost sight of who I was, my true desires, my true beliefs, how nice I was to people. And I think Reiki kind of allowed me to be aware and cognizant of that, to where it's like, well, you've been putting so much time, effort, everything about you've been putting into the wrong desire, And I feel like there's a different sense of freedom that I'll have now, not putting so much emphasis into how much money is in my bank account, and how nice my car is, and how nice, the condo downtown that I'm living in. Oh, this is what I want to tell you too. So while I was a kid, and this is while I was, and I still have such a vivid imagination, or not imagination, but vivid, like feeling. And every time I felt a certain way, whether it was like sad or something, like my mom always had the coldest legs for some reason. Yeah. And so I remember like being a kid and like holding onto her freezing cold legs. And my mom, she's not a thicker lady, but she got a rump on her, she got thicker legs, and it's just like, it was something I was able to hold on to, and they were just so cold. Well, while I went through this time, I had that sense like I was grabbing my mom's leg, like just that sense of comfort and
safety.
Yeah, and like my mom, I've always been a huge Mama's boy, and this session I felt my mom's legs. That's so weird to say that. But it was like that, just that sense of comfort. Like, that was my time when I was like 5 to maybe like, it could even be younger than 5, I don't remember, but let's say it went up to like 10 or 11, that was my sense of comfort. Like, whether I felt sad or something like that, and I felt that this time around, and it's now coming to light, because it's not like it was a picture of like Tina's leg just like laying there, and me and the bowl haircut James is sitting there both holding on to it. But
so you were able to connect with your sister then?
Yeah. And I mean, I was more connecting with the feeling, because I don't feel like my sister ran in the room. I was like, "What's up, dog? I haven't seen you in a couple months."
Yeah.
Because I've passed away. But like I was feeling her while I was there, and what I was feeling was the feeling she gave me when even she was sick and I was feeling down, or like I had some shit to talk about work and I needed to tell somebody. That feeling she gave me when we would have those conversations that would last for like 3-4 hours at a time.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling I had getting off the phone, like, like I got that feeling, and so that's what I correlated to like feeling my sister.
Right.